Good afternoon and welcome to Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Bojangles Bow Time qualifying taking place right now. We are qualifying our City Corp legends. Remember, on your way to the track, stop by Bojangles for some famous chicken biscuits and tea. We've got a Speedway special 8-piece tailgate that beats 4 for $21.99. Now that comes with 8 pieces of chicken, 4 biscuits, 2 picnic fixins, and a half-gallon of iced tea. We're 1 mile from the track at 3351 Commander Shepard Boulevard. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all. We are live here this afternoon, a beautiful Saturday afternoon in July. Can you believe it? July 1st already. That's a special day for our promoter, Vice President of the racetrack. Happy birthday, Mr. Chuck Hall, and happy anniversary as well. I just saw his lovely bride in the office a few moments ago. Ryan Cooper on the speedway right now, car number 95, making his way to the white flag here. 2 laps of qualification on this 4/10 of a mile oval. Adam Wellbrock will be joining me with the broadcast here this afternoon as well. Thank you for tuning in to thank you for tuning in to Facebook Live and YouTube. We will be on Flow Racing at 7 o'clock, but we're hoping you can get here to the racetrack and join us. Tickets still on sale at our box office or online at langley-speedway.com. We've got a big fireworks display coming up following tonight's events. Multi-time track champion, car 7 on the speedway, Spencer Saunders. Down the backstretch, taking it through turns 3 and 4 as we watch the 95 bring it to the pits. That's Ryan Cooper, 12th quickest, 18.252 seconds on lap number 2. Spencer Saunders on his first lap, he'll slot in outside row 4 provisionally, position 8, 18.231 seconds. Right now, the fast lap set by Tommy Jackson Jr., 17.903 seconds. Spencer needs to find at least 3.5 tenths of a second to get it there. He'll go faster on lap 2, but it'll be 7th quick for Spencer Saunders, 18.124 seconds. I want to say hello to John Turner, tuning in from down in North Carolina. Hey, John, my cousin, watching here this afternoon. Good to have you tuning in to Facebook Live, and hello to everybody on YouTube. And I want to say thank you to all these great fans that have assembled here in the grandstands right now. Warm July afternoon. Qualifying, rolling on right now. It is car 48 on the speedway. That's Mason Weekly turning a lap here on the speedway. City Corp legends in action here tonight. Tommy Jackson Jr. leads the championship standings coming into this evening's festivities. Trying to get get a championship there. Mason Weekly from Virginia Beach in the Jason and Paige Downs with Downs Rental Care. Mason Weekly, 13th quick, 18.8 seconds for the 48 car. Right now, it's car 5. Mike McCall on the speedway right now, or Mike McMahon. Mike McMahon on the speedway. He'll go P13 provisionally, 18.758 seconds. City Corp legends. Also, City Corp Bandoleros competing here tonight. It's Who's Your Driver evening at the Speedway. The legends will be round 5 for the 2023 season. As we said, 2-time track champion Tommy Jackson Jr. won the last time out 2 short weeks ago. 25-year-olds on a mission here in 2023. He and his team for Percosin, they're on fire this year. And quite literally, it's quite warm out there right now, but they've won 75% of the races this season, equating to 4 out of 5 victories here for this division. So Tommy Jackson Jr., certainly the driver, and actually, 3 out of the 4 races he's won. The other driver that's won this year is Charlie Bills. He won back on June 3rd. So again, 3 victories this year for Tommy Jackson Jr. And so his worst finish this year, and we're kind of laughing about the worst finish because guess what? It was a disappointing 2nd place. Talk about being right at the front at the finish of these things each and every week. And it looks like the red light has come on. And speaking of being up front, Tommy Jackson Jr. has done it. He has won the Bojangles Pole Award, turning a time of 17.903 seconds. Like most competitors, his fast lap was the 2nd circuit around. Devin Courtney will line up outside of row 1. He turned an 18.031 seconds, so Tommy had a whole tenth of a second all by his lonesome. That's how quick that 87 car is. Charlie Bills will line up inside of row 2. Jake Harberts turned a great lap, 4th quick. Cody Carrollton, always at the top of the leaderboard in car number 11. He posted the 5th fastest lap. Trey Williams will go outside of row 3. Spencer Saunders, the defending champion, he'll roll off 7th. Jacob Derrick, 8th. 9th to Chris Fahid. And 10th will be Devin George. 11th was Chris Hammett. J.P. Peisel was 12th. Mike McMowell goes 13th. Mason Weekly, 14th in the 48 car. Ryan Cooper, he was 15th quick. Andrew Hunn, 16th. Brad Shiflett, 17th. And Andrew Roten, he'll be out later. He'll go outside of row 9 when we drop the green flag. Again, it's Who's Your Driver evening at the racetrack. It's round 10 of the 2023 season. We have qualified now. Our Cycle City Corp legends have posted their qualification. Coming up next, the Virginia Mini Cups. They're lined up and in position to go qualifying here this afternoon. And then we'll have those thunderous Larry King Law Modifieds. And it's always great to have our friends with the Virginia Sprint Series. They're back. I was talking with Jim Haynes earlier this afternoon in the pit area. They're excited to be here. We're excited to have them on the property here for the 2023 season. They'll be back a little bit later on this year. They'll be here back towards the latter part of the season. So if you're tuning in to if you're tuning in to Facebook Live, we will be on Flow Racing later tonight. So if you're on Facebook Live or YouTube, leave a comment from where you're watching and tell us who you're rooting for. We will interact with you here throughout the broadcast. Again, the Virginia Mini Cups, they've been around for 25 years. They've been around for a long time, since 1996. One of the biggest arena-style racing series in the country. Was talking with Brian Orvine, who leads the Mini Cup as the director of the series. They're excited to be here. At least 10 drivers will be ready to go a little bit later on. But coming up next, we'll have the Cycle City Corp Bandoleros. They're getting in position here on pit road. And again, the Virginia Sprint Series, as they prepare to go to battle here a little bit later on this evening. We'll have a couple of heat races to set the starting lineup, and then their main feature will be coming up. It'll be a 25-lap race to cap off the evening. Virginia Sprint Series, that is, has been off for a few weeks because of weather. They were slated to go out a couple weeks back at Elizabeth City's Dixieland Speedway, but Mother Nature prevented that from happening. Adam Welbrock joining me on the broadcast. Adam? It's a warm but great day to be at the racetrack.
It is, my friend, and a big happy birthday to you as well, Brian. Not only celebrating our president, Chuck Hall, and his anniversary, but also Brian, our voice of Langley Speedway. So happy birthday to you, my friend. And, man, I tell you, it couldn't be any better to be down here. It is warm. It's actually gotten darker since we started qualifying. Hey, Mark Edwards is down here. Excuse me, Mark Wirtz will be in the modifieds, getting ready to watch the Bandoleros on the racetrack right now. And Brian, these are when drivers want to get onto the racetrack. Cloud cover over the speedway right now. Temperatures dropping just a little bit. Still about 80 degrees down here, but the track going to be gripped up nonetheless, and drivers are praying, please, clouds, stay here. We want the clouds to stay while we run a quick qualifying lap. That's going to allow them to have more grip and ultimately bring that lap time down. So we'll keep an eye on the stopwatch as the Bandoleros are on the racetrack. First couple of cars putting laps down right now.
Very good point. Everybody will be watching intently because they're thinking, oh no, don't let the clouds break and the sun come out and slow the track down when we get out there. So everybody hoping the cloud cover stays at least until they get their lap around the track. So we'll see how it all pans out, and we're excited to bring it to you here this afternoon. Again, it's the Cycle City Corp Bandoleros. We're putting 3 cars on the track at one time. They'll actually get 5 laps to turn around the speedway. So we'll pick the fastest of their 5 laps, and that'll set the starting lineup. On the speedway right now, it's the 99, Riley Rondeau. The 00, that's Georgia Causey, and the 38 of Penelope Carlisle, the rookie competitor. Now coming into this race, Brian Rundstrom Jr. in the 88 leads the championship standings, and guess what? He's undefeated here in 2023. 4 races, 4 victories. So the 88 car is fast. He's searching for that first championship. He leads 8 points over Sarah Weitzel, who's P2 in the championship standings. Sarah's got a second place finish to open up the season and a couple of thirds, while Tristan Brunelli's up 3 places in the points. Tristan Brunelli is now 3rd in the championship chase. Watching the 99, this is Riley Rondeau on the speedway. Right now, Riley is the fastest of these 3 cars. Riley, she is quick out there right now, turning a time of 21.324 seconds. Gloucester, the home for that driver. And as we see the 00, that's Georgia Causey. Georgia Causey right now is second quick, turning a time of 21.529 seconds. That's almost 0.2 of a second off the mark from the 99 car. So again, 5 laps on the books, and right now Riley Rondeau is completed, and everybody has their 5 laps, and Riley is the quickest, and both he or she, that is, Riley and Georgia, as all 3 young ladies have completed their 5 laps. So Riley and Georgia the fastest on their 5th lap, and Penelope Carlisle turned her fast lap on the 4th circuit. So as they get these cars wound up, they are going faster on the speedway. So again, Riley Rondeau, Georgia Causey, and Penelope Carlisle, the top 3. Adam, as we still got a pile of cars to go.
Yeah, and of course, Brian, these bandos, some of them have been at Charlotte Motor Speedway this week for the summer shootout. So very busy week for some of our Bandolero drivers. They're going to go at it tonight. You mentioned the driver of the 88 machine, Brian Rundstrom, the driver to beat this year, looking for championship number 1. You've seen drivers show a lot of speed. One driver I'm keeping my eye on tonight is Bryson Nichols. He showed a lot of speed a couple of weeks ago, or last week, in the 80 machine. He'll be in the next group. Also, people like Nevaeh Edwards, Sarah Whitesole, drivers who have been kind of chomping at the bit right there in the top 5 each and every week. We've got a lot of hungry drivers in this field, and of course, you talk about it every week. These are the drivers of tomorrow, the stars of tomorrow, drivers of today, these young kids getting their teeth cut down here in the Bandolero division and hoping to be champions of, who knows, maybe modifieds or late models. That's where drivers like Brendan Queen got their start, so definitely drivers to keep an eye on, and they always put on a good show.
3 more cars coming out on the speedway. Watching the 11 entry, that's Addison Schumann turning a lap around the speedway right now. It's Addison Schumann, pretty quick, 21.098 seconds for car number 11. As we see Addison Schumann working her way through turns 3 and 4. And Adam, the cool thing in this division, as we see in lots of others as well, we're seeing more ladies get into sport, which is fantastic.
Yeah, how about that, Brian? You talk about the drivers and the young stars of tomorrow. Well, I believe, based on my quick calculation, I believe almost half of the drivers in this division are ladies, so that's really great to see. And they are all very, very quick in their own right. Nevaeh Edwards is a winner here at the Speedway. Riley Rondeau looking for her first win. Addison Schumann was 3rd in the point standings last year, so these young ladies have a ton of speed behind the wheel, and definitely can make something happen here as we work through the summer stretch and into the latter part of the season. They'll be continuously challenging for wins, and who knows, maybe we'll see them in different categories next season, maybe future divisions as well. So also something to keep an eye on as we work through this season. But always great stories down here in the Bandoleros, and we talk about it, the drivers of the stars of tomorrow, some of the bright future faces of Langley Speedway.
Absolutely. Addison Schumann and company have taken the checkered flag. So Addison, that is, the fastest on her 5th lap, 20.924 seconds. That's nearly 0.2 of a second faster than Riley Rondeau. Miley Smith posted the 3rd fastest lap in the 89 car, 21.288 seconds. Georgia Causey 4th, and Penelope Carlisle rounds out the top 5 thus far here in qualifying. Now Addison Schumann, the fastest, is from Rutherford Glen, Virginia. Sponsors include Alcova Mortgage, Dominion Amusements, and Turn 2 Screen Printing. 2nd year in racing, started last year in 2022. So Addison Schumann, a driver that's certainly cutting her teeth, and she certainly enjoys getting out here and racing. Her favorite band, by the way, Billie Eilish. Adam, have you heard of Billie Eilish?
I have. She's a singer. She's quite a good singer, actually.
Yeah?
Very, very popular.
It's not really a band. That's a singer.
We'll call them artists. We'll compromise on that.
All right. And by the way, Addison says, I want a steak. That's her favorite food. So I'm sure she expects that if she picks up the victory tonight. And I'm sure her parents would gladly give her that, as that young lady is quick. Watching the 80 car work over in turns 3 and 4, this is going to be Bryson Nichols, the rookie competitor here in 2023. Now Bryson goes all the way to the top of the leaderboard. This driver from right here in Hampton, in car number 80, in the Anything Goes Custom Cards, Asset Auto Recovery, and the Villas of Coventry sponsor the 80 car. Bryson Nichols, who right now is the quickest. This is his 5th year in the sport for Bryson Nichols. He's a 2020 HRKC Junior Sportsman Champion. So Bryson Nichols is fast. All right, car 80, 20.627 seconds, nearly 0.3 of a second faster than Addison Schumann. And we're watching now the 18 of Tristan Brunelli, third quick, getting faster each and every lap for Tristan. 20.972 seconds, needs just a little bit more if Tristan wants to put the 18 car on the pole position. Here comes Tristan through turns 3 and 4. Let's see if we get the pickup like everybody else has on that second lap. This driver from Powhatan, Virginia, for Tristan Brunelli. And Tristan will actually slow down in the GC Page Children's Hospital Bandolero car number 18 that is, is right now P3 at a 20.972 seconds. Everybody's chasing Bryson Nichols in that quick lap of 20.626 seconds. And Adam, that lap was blistering fast, almost 3/10 faster than Addison Schumann.
Yeah, just caught my eye a second ago. That was a very, very quick lap from the 80 machine. The rookie driver, Brian, you mentioned it, has had a lot of speed this year. He qualified second 1 week ago. That lap going to be tough to beat right there. We'll see if it hangs on, but had a great run last week. Mentioned he's one of the drivers I'm keeping an eye on tonight. That 80 car should contend for the win, and with that qualifying lap, looks like he's going to contend for the pole as well. So keep your eye on car number 80, and this driver on the racetrack's not really much of a slouch either. Sarah Weitzel, she's very quick as well.
Car number 21, Sarah Weitzel on the speedway right now. We're watching the 21 car work here through turns 3 and 4. Addison Schumann will go P3 because Sarah Weitzel takes over the second spot, 20.678 seconds for car 21. So that driver, again, very quick, as you heard Adam talk about. Now, this driver, Sarah Weitzel from Virginia Beach, sponsored by Applied Resource Technologies, Little Creek's Boutique, that is, for Sarah Weitzel, who now goes all the way to the top. 20.582 seconds. That's 4/100ths of a second faster than Bryson Nichols. And Tuggy Case on the speedway right now, third fastest, 20.901 seconds. Very, very early, and again, these laps get faster each and every time as they get these cars wound up. And Sarah Weitzel going even quicker, 20.544 seconds. Tuggy Case will actually drop down just a click here on lap number 3, but still has time to pick it up as the laps continue to advance here this afternoon. Shane Snyder back on the flag stand. Our chief starter here gives the white flag indicating just one more lap or 4/10 of a mile to go to wrap up Bojangles pole qualifying here at the beautiful Larry King Laws of Langley Speedway. And of course, Adam, the quick way around the racetrack here in qualification especially, keep that car tucked all the way to the bottom of the racetrack.
Put it right on that yellow line and hope she sticks. These cars are very little underpowered, so you're going to be wide open around here, Brian. As you mentioned, of course, that's going to allow for super speedway type racing. You're going to want pack numbers. You want drivers to be your friend, give you a little push, a little bump draft around the speedway. But we've also seen drivers kind of lose control of these race cars, so they're not super easy to drive as they may look. They're right there on the razor's edge. We've seen a number of drivers kind of spin it on their own. Just losing the handling on that car, of course, when you get onto the apron, that loosens up the car just a little bit, and if you cross over that apron, it's going to really upset the car and make it step out on you. So not super easy to do. You want to keep it right on that yellow line, but don't cross over it. It's a very sharp razor's edge, and the drivers trying to find that each and every lap. Of course, in qualifying here is no different.
That is indeed the case as they prepare for their 15-lap feature. It'll be the first race here at 7 o'clock this evening as we crank up the Who's Your Driver Round 10 of the 2023 racing season as we continue our 73rd season of competition here in Hampton. All right, the 02 cars on the racetrack, that's Nevaeh Edwards. Nevaeh Edwards turning her laps here this afternoon. Nevaeh Edwards from Yorktown, the old school video games. Capital Fleet Services race car, also sponsored by Portsmouth Army Navy, her 5th year of competition. Your 2022 Rookie of the Year. For car number 02, drives an NX Bando with a Stillwell racing engine. As she brings that car through turns now, make that 3 and 4. It's dancing around just a bit. These cars are not that easy to drive. I'm telling you, these young folks have their hands full. They saw at that steering wheel, and it keeps them busy. Now, the 02 car goes around in turns 1 and 2, keeps it off the outside retaining wall, thankfully. Just went for a lazy spin up turn number 2 under the B&C Seafood billboard, and that'll put us under the caution flag, Adam.
And we've seen her do that a couple of weeks now, Brian. Still struggling with the back end of that car, Nevaeh Edwards. Tough break for that number 02 machine. That was not the lap that she was expecting. 7th quickest right now on the stopwatch. So definitely got some more speed in that car as we've seen this year, but just struggling continue on that race car. We've seen her now 2 or 3 weeks in a row, that 02, just kind of losing on her own, definitely fighting a loose condition.
All right, we're watching the 88 car. We talked about him. He's your point standings leader, Brian Rundstrom Jr. White flag is in the air. Third fastest, 20.630 seconds. He'll need to pick up almost 0.3 of a second if he wants to take the pole from Sarah Weitzel. Our final qualifiers of the afternoon, and who is going to get the Bojangles pole award and lead the field with the green flag? We're getting ready to find out as we're watching Brian Rundstrom bring it off at turn number 4. Can he pick it up? And he will, but he'll go outside row 1. Second quick, 20.590 seconds. 9/100ths of a second off the mark from Sarah Weitzel. And Nevaeh Edwards also has a pickup. She'll go outside of row 2, P4, as that young lady turned a time of 20.678 seconds. And the red light comes on. That means we are done, and Sarah Weitzel will deliver. So Sarah Weitzel wins the Bojangles pole award, turning a time of 20.497 seconds.
That's right, Brian. I'm down here with a very happy Sarah Weitzel. Sarah, how was the lap, and what are you feeling right now?
I feel amazing. This is my first pole at Langley. It's really awesome. I'm hoping we can keep her there all race. Hopefully it's a green race and we can bring her right here to victory lane. The car felt great, thanks to my dad. He always gives me a great car. But I want to thank everyone that has helped me out.
Congratulations to you. Best of luck to you tonight, guys. That's Sarah Weitzel, your Bandolero pole winner. How about that, Brian? First pole in her career. Mentioned it earlier. She had a great season going so far. Second in points, looking for her first win.
How about that? You heard the excitement in her voice, picking up her first ever Bojangles pole award for Sarah Weitzel. She'll lead the entire field with the green flag, all 11 cars in total, over the fast guy, the hot shoot here in 2023. We're talking about Brian Rundstrom Jr., and she did it in convincing fashion, almost 1/10 of a second to herself. So Sarah Weitzel, Brian Rundstrom Jr. will make up row number 1. Row 2 will be Bryson Nichols. How about that for young Bryson, only 11 years of age, for the Anything Goes custom car. It's an asset auto recovery car. He'll go P3 or inside of row number 2. Nevaeh Edwards, how about that? Nevaeh Edwards, fourth quick in the 02, even after going for that spin over in turn number 2. Thankfully kept it off the outside retaining wall. And Tuggy Case in the 1C rounds out the top 5 starters here this evening. Addison Schumann posted the 6th fastest lap. Tristan Brunelli goes P7. Raleigh Rondeau will start outside of row 4 in the 8th spot, while Miley Smith in the 89 car goes from 9th, and Georgia Causey rounds out the top 10. Penelope Carlisle has qualified 11th, the rookie competitor, ready to go here this evening. So that means we've now completed 2 divisions. Both our Cycle City Corp Legends and our Cycle City Corp Bandoleros have completed qualification. Up next here this afternoon, we're so excited to have the Virginia Mini Cups as they make their debut here in 2023. I'm excited to have with me in the tower here today Brian Orvine, who is the director of the Virginia Mini Cups. Brian, I won't forget your name because that's my name, obviously.
Right.
But welcome back to Hampton. Good to see you, pal.
Well, thank you. We're glad to be back here. We always look forward to coming to Langley a couple times a year, so we're excited to be back.
We are excited to have you here, and you guys have been around this business for a long time, with Jabs Construction being one of your big partners here. And of course, you can follow them on the social media channels, of course, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, it's at Virginia Mini Cups, or if you're on Twitter, it's Virginia Cup. All right, so Brian, been around a long time. These are really cool-looking race cars, and these race fans that are in the stands, if they want to get in this series, it's relatively affordable. They can certainly do that. And we're going to talk to Brian here in just a moment. He's got his hands full. He is running the entire series. He is going to be in race control in just a little bit, talking over with them. And I'm told it's going to be a 5-minute Euro-style qualification, meaning all the cars are going to come out like a practice session, turn their laps in 5 minutes. Whoever gets the fastest lap, Brian will win the pole.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, we used to doing that, and it's a lot better. It gives the guys more seat times and girls too. So
there you go.
Yeah, but it seems to be a whole lot better. Give them an extra practice session, and especially this late in the evening, they can fine tune their cars for the race as well.
Now, Brian, you and I were talking in the trailer earlier this afternoon, not that long ago. I mean, these are really fast race cars, and you and I talked. You told me a cool stat to Adam Welbrock and myself. You said these cars are going to turn 70 miles per hour. I mean, they are lightning fast, and this is the fastest track they compete on.
Yeah, normally it's the fastest track, depending on what time of year and what time we race at. Normally nightfall we do get faster here. We run about 1.5 to 2 miles an hour faster than about everywhere we go. So I think 75 or 74 and a half has been about the fastest we've ever ran. But
how about that?
Yeah, we flat-footed just about everywhere we go. So yeah.
These are cool-looking race cars. If you've not seen them, I'm talking with Brian Orvine, the director of the Virginia Mini Cups, in town here this evening, and we're again super stoked to have him back in the house. And Brian, relatively affordable sport. If somebody wants to get into this, they can actually see a car up front, close and personal, beginning at 5:30 or so in the midway by the Budweiser stage down there here, right across from the refreshment stands.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna have a few cars out there, some cards and giveaways and infos as decals as well. So yeah, come on by and see us. Don't know which cars yet, but we're going to try to get a couple of them out there.
That is fantastic. Please, race fans, go check them out. Go see what these cars are all about. Roughly 5:30 till about 6:15. They're going to be doing a meet and greet with a couple of cars here in the midway, right near our entertainment stage where the band will be performing here today. And they'll be there until roughly about 6:15. So go down, check it out. You might want to get involved in this sport. And these folks, Brian, you're all over the place as far as racing.
Yeah. Pretty much Dominion is pretty much where most of us are located as far as resident-wise. We come here, we go to Motor Mile, which I guess is Pulaski. Changed it again. I got used to saying that. We dip down into North Carolina, Southern National, Orange County sometimes as well. But yeah, it's we base ourselves on the traveling series as well.
How about that? Again, find out more with the Japs Construction partnered Virginia Mini Cup Racing Association. They're at vaminicups.com. That's vaminicups.com. And Brian, Euro-style qualifying, they'll be on the track for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Cut a fast lap. When do these cars, they take them a couple laps to get wound up and go quick?
Normally about a lap and a half to get wound up. And they do draft good, and they, especially a flat track like Langley, they will get behind somebody and we'll create an aero push as well. So yeah, we're no different than any other cars, and they're all equally prepared. So basically the driver and car weighs 740 and up. So 13 years older and older is that's a minimum age limit for us. So,
wow.
We don't have a youth class or adult class. We just got one particular class, and that's it.
How about that? And of course, you've been on the Jack Dodson Racing Insider News show, I believe, recently.
Yes, a few years ago I had. Well,
That's
no,
right.
a few years ago it was.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Talking about the Virginia Mini Cups and how exciting this series is. And not to put you on the spot, but who are the two cars, and I'm sure there's a lot more than that, but who do we need to keep our eyes on? I realize that you're also in charge of the program, so you want to talk great about everybody, and of course they're all stars in my mind.
Right.
But who are a couple of guys or gals we need to keep an eye on?
Well, I mean, Tyler Warner's won the championship the last 2 years, and he's tough to beat. He's a veteran. He's been at it a long time. But like I say, Zach Sprouse, the former Rookie of the Year, he's won some races. Nate Thomas in the 7th won some races. Any track, the 11 car, Noah Matthews, he's coming on real strong and had a good start to the year. The 22 as well. John Hager, so he's really picked up a lot of speed. So it depends on where we go and what the setup we get for, and I mean it's we're equal as we can. Some people hit it, some don't, but it's a very competitive series.
It looks like it, just watching them practice here, and I say practice, we're really qualifying here Euro style. That means everybody on the track at the same time, turning some laps here. And you talked about somebody that keep an eye on. The first name you mentioned right now is the fastest. That's Tyler Warner, who's clocked in at 19.550 seconds. He got that on the 4th circuit. He's completed about 6 laps right now for the 12 car. That's Tyler Warner, the fastest. You also mentioned Noah Matthews in the 11 entry. Noah right now second quick at a 19.707. So they are flat getting it here this afternoon.
Yeah, leading rookie for this year, Noah Matthews, and early congratulations to Tyler Warner. About a week or so, he's gonna be a father again. So
wow,
we all happy for him as well. So, but I just wanted to say, as far as Jabs Construction goes, we went quite a few years without a title sponsor, and Tim Jabs came on this year and offered to sponsor the series and help us out, help get back to the grassroots. And Tim's a former sponsor of Brandon Brown's Xfinity car, so
wow.
he was willing to come and help us out. So a big thanks to him up in Dumfries, up north of Dumfries, Virginia. So big thanks to Tim for all he does for the series.
Well, I tell you, Brian, it really takes our partners like Jabs Construction to make this business work.
Yes, yeah, it does. Even though it's a foldable series, it still takes partners and sponsors and all the spokes in the wheels turning to make it go.
So if somebody's watching here on Facebook Live or YouTube, or if they're here in the grandstands looking at this great series and they want to get involved, what would you recommend them to do?
Well, there's plenty of cars out there, even if they're not quite legal for our series, and it's not hard to upgrade. So I would probably just go ahead and try to find a car, get in touch with us. A lot of cars still out there. We have some extra cars. We actually rent race for race. So
oh, wow.
There's a couple of different ways you can get into it, or you can buy your own. And it's just call the number or go to the website or just see us here at the track. Yeah.
Wow, and I heard you say rent a car.
Yeah.
So can I rent one tonight?
Yeah.
I don't think Chuck's going to let me, but that would be fun.
We don't have one with us, but give us enough notice, we'll bring you one.
I love it. Talking with Brian Orvine, director of Virginia Mini Cups here in the house, making their annual visit. Right now, the 12 car, Tyler Warner is the fastest. He got that back on lap number 4. He laid down a time of 19.550 seconds. Noah Matthews right now provisionally outside of row 1. Zach Stongel, as we're now just moments away from wrapping it up, less than 30 seconds. Zach Sprouse, third quick. John Hager, fourth. And Harley Hatton right now rounds out the top 5. Nate Thomas in the 7 car is 6th quick. Tyler Roach in the 00 is 7th. Michaela Donovan in the 64 entry is 8th quick. And Scott Sprouse in the 98 goes P9 at the moment. So again, we're wrapping it up. Less than 5 seconds, I believe. We'll get the official indication from Shane Snyder, our chief starter atop the flag stand, as right now Tyler Warner going to become a father. Brian was just telling us for the second time. Big congratulations to him. And everybody now takes the red and black flag, indicating this is over with as far as the Virginia Mini Cups goes. As far as qualification, as they prepare for their 25-lap contest, it'll be race number 4 of 7 here this evening. 25 trips around the speedway. And again, it's Tyler Warner. Gets it done, delivers. He and Noah Matthews will leave the field at the green flag. And Brian, we're excited again to have you here. Cannot say that enough. We appreciate you with Jabs Construction as your title sponsor, putting on a great show. And we're excited to see it here later tonight.
Well, I appreciate it. Glad to Langley having us back. We always look forward to coming here. And we'll be our championship race will be the final Sean Beluso Memorial race here, y'all's last race. So that's going to be a big deal for us and everybody else. Well, we're looking really forward to it.
And I'm glad you said that, because I made a reference to the annual visit. It's actually twice a year. So they're going to be here tonight, obviously, and then coming back for the championship to close the curtain on the 23 season.
Right.
How about that?
It'll be a big to-do, that's for sure. So we're glad to be part of it.
Well, thank you, Brian. And don't forget, race fans, if you're here on the property from roughly 5:30 or about 20 minutes from now, head down to the entertainment stage, which is located right across from the refreshment stands. Go down and check out at least 2, maybe 3 of these Virginia Mini Cups will be down there, so you can see the cars up close and personal. Brian, great to see you again. Thanks for being up here, buddy.
Thank you,
We look
Brian.
forward to seeing you around here in a bit.
Absolutely. Thank you much. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. We're talking again to Brian Orvine, the director of the Virginia Mini Cups, looking to put on a great show here this evening. And Adam, I'm hearing some thundering race cars firing up right now.
You guys were just talking about the Sean Beluso Memorial, of course, that being a modified race for the Larry King Law Modifieds. Who do we have tonight? It's the Larry King Law Modifieds. They're lined up on pit lane, Brian, ready to go out for their scuff laps on the racetrack. Got to a great car count down here, about 14 or 15 modifieds ready to go at it, and should be a lot of fun. So we're looking forward to that. And yeah, the Mini Cup race is going to be fun. And I like how Brian hesitated when you asked him if you could drive. That was really cool. If you can't drive, maybe I'll drive for you. How about that? Maybe Chuck will be okay with that.
sides of the modifieds cranking up. They're coming out onto the speedway. They're going to turn some scuff laps right now. They'll actually get to turn 10 scuff laps to work those tires in before they come out and begin qualifying one by one, 2 laps on the racetrack. And Adam, I tell you, it's been another big year thus far. And again, we're early. We've only completed thus far just a handful of races in this series, or I should say a handful of weeks, because we've had 8 starts this year, 8 races, 4 Saturday evening programs. And this year, well, just like last season, it's been all about Hayes, Virginia's. Who am I talking about? Matt Carter.
That'd be car number 78, Brian. But if you remember correctly, race fans, he was not the most recent winner in this division from a week ago. It was indeed DJ Valente. Car number 18 held him off in the closing laps and picked up the win. Now, we will not have a doubleheader tonight, Brian, as you mentioned. One 50-lap race for these cars tonight. It's going to be a little bit different, and that's going to allow Matt Carter to qualify, get the car up front, and he's going to be right where he wants to be in the front of the field. Can anybody get to him? That's going to be the question. A little bit longer race than we're used to.
Indeed, that is the case. If you're just tuning in to Facebook Live or YouTube, be sure to chat with us. We're going to be talking to some folks here in a minute, or at least talking about what you're writing as far as what you're seeing, who you're rooting for, as well as, where you're at, where you're watching from. All right, again, scuff laps on the track right now for these thunderous Larry King Law modifieds. They'll get 10 laps to turn to make sure the tires are warmed up and ready to go. And then we'll bring them out one by one to see who will start on the pole. And again, we talked about it, one race here this evening, one points-paying event, 50 trips around this 4/10 of a mile oval to see who will be victorious. So you want to qualify well, because 50 laps can go by in a hurry, especially when they turn as quick laps as they normally do, especially if we have a long green flag run and very little caution flags to help bunch the field back up. So again, qualification very, very important. We got a ton of race cars here, 15 or so, ready to give it a go here this evening. And again, it's a big night, round 9 of the 2023 season, and the first since a couple of weeks since this series has hit the racetrack. So we'll see how it happens here this evening. Remember, race fans, use your smartphone to order from Bojangles. You can schedule your pickup time so that your food will be as fast and fresh as possible. Make sure to select curbside pickup option when checking out. Now, if you go ahead and download the Grubhub app and search for Bojangles, orders over $30 gets $5 off. If you spend $50 or more, you get $12 off. Bojangles, it's bow time, y'all. And right now, we're watching the cars on the speedway here in Bojangles pole qualifying. They are turning some scuff laps, working those tires in. Adam, besides the 78 car, who are you watching this evening?
Well, I'll tell you, Brian, one driver that's caught my eye, I mentioned him a little while ago, is DJ Valente, the winner of the most recent race in this division. DJ was the first car out on track for the scuff laps, and he's the first car that has pulled it into the pit lane ready for his qualifying lap, so he'll be the first driver under the stopwatch. And I got to tell you, Brian, after winning that race, that shows a lot of confidence in that driver, the 18. He's got momentum on his side, and he's definitely got confidence on his side. He'll be the first driver in line. Another driver I'm keeping an eye on, that's driver 64. Could be Ricky Smoot, or it could be Rick Godovic in the modified division. It's been a while since we've seen him at the racetrack, so good to see him back. Of course, I'm not sure who's behind the wheel. I didn't see who got in the car. It could be Ricky, or it could be Rick Godovic. Either one, they're going to be fast, and really good to have the 64 team back with us tonight.
All right, again, right now it's Matt Carter leading the championship standings coming into tonight's festivities. 6 victories out of the 8 races for Matt Carter. He leads by 30 markers over Peyton Ferree, who's had a big pickup in the points chase after the last couple of races. He's up 4 positions to second in the championship points. Make that Brad Adams 1 position back in third, but he's only 33 points in the rears for Brad Adams, who has a best finish this season for Brad Adams, a third on Brad Adams, that is. Best finish this year for car number 3 is going to be P2 on 2 occasions for Brad Adams. DJ Valente's 4th in the championship standings, and Chris Roberts, the top rookie. Of course, he's a multi-time track champion in other divisions. So Chris Roberts, extremely fast, and car number 11 is right now 5th in points, and he got one of his best finishes to date when he came home 3rd in the last contest, the second twin, back on June 17th. He tied that best finish back on April 15th of 3rd place. All right, all the cars are now back down on pit road, preparing to come out one by one to begin qualification here this afternoon. And one of the drivers we'll be talking about will be Chase Burrows in the 0 car. He's pulling double duty this evening. He'll also run Bill Mullis's sprint car. So he'll be running that a little bit later on. And he was fast in practice, Adam.
Yeah, it was fast in both divisions. Talking about Chase Burrows, of course, Chase has also had a busy week. He's going to run both divisions tonight. As you mentioned, Brian, the modifieds, as we're used to seeing him do, and going to run the Bill Mullis machine. Our captain, Bill Mullis, out at South Boston for the first leg of the Virginia Triple Crown. So hello to Bill if you are watching. We miss you, buddy. And, yeah, Brian, been a busy week for Chase Burrow. He not only is running double races tonight, he also won the pole at Caraway Speedway on Wednesday night for the Cars Tour. Had a fast car that night, but some mechanical issues haunted his race. Took him out of the contest there. So looking to rebound off of a tough race there, and he's in 2 fast race cars tonight. Keep your eye on the 0 and the 45.
Indeed, that's the case. I was talking with Bubba earlier in the pit area, and Bubba was telling me about his tire issue, which took him out of contention earlier this week in the Cars Tour event. Tough break, but again, a big day for him as far as putting that car on the pole. All right, first qualifier coming on the speedway. This is car number 18 from Pocosin, DJ Valente. He drives the Mason Tile Worley's Home Services Jesco Signs and Lighting entry for car number 18, who right now is 4th in the championship standings, has a best finish of a win. He got that in the very last race, as you heard Adam Wilrock talk about earlier. So 2 laps completed for the 18 car of DJ Valente. He turned a time of 16.341 seconds, so keep your eyes on that car. We'll see where he lands when qualification ends. Just the first car to come out and post a lap. Next on the racetrack, this is going to be Gary Kidder. Gary Kidder on the racetrack right now in car number 65. Gary Kidder, 1 lap down, 17.766 seconds for car number 65. Takes it down the backstretch for the final go-around here this evening. These cars, 2,600 pounds with 8-inch wheels. Of course, this is a division that's been around since the beginning. One of the longest running NASCAR Advanced Auto Parts weekly series tracks in the country. Hosts one of the original series for NASCAR that started back in the 1940s. And this series continues running the original, running since 1948 when the NASCAR started. So technically the original style of these cars goes back even before then. And so they closely resemble a hybrid of open wheel race cars and stock cars. Adam Medic on the racetrack right now, car number 29. Adam Medic has been out for a few weeks. Good to have him back. He has got a best finish of 5th here this year. Got that on the season opening event. And so Adam Medic takes the checkered flag, and he's 2nd of the 3 cars at a 16.794 seconds. That's almost half a second off the marks from DJ Valente, who sets the early pace here this evening. Again, 16.341 seconds. Rally Music's on the racetrack right now, and car number 47 sliding coming up to turn number 4. Now he has a new sponsor. I had a note that somebody brought up to me earlier. It's the Elvis Tribute Show. Adam, I don't think Chuck Hall, our promoter, is a big fan of that.
Yeah, I don't know how he's going to feel about that, Brian. I got to wonder how Riley will do tonight. Riley, a very quick driver in multiple divisions, and yeah, he's got a passenger on board with him. Elvis riding shotgun on the 47 car. How about that?
I'm telling you, and I was just teasing because our promoter here at the racetrack is a huge Elvis Presley fan, so I'm sure he's excited to see that. But this driver, Riley Music, multi-time track champion, just 15 years of age. Of course, he's had a championship in the City Corp Bandoleros, and last year's Smith Wraps and Graphics Virginia Racers are limited late models, and he's silently having a stellar rookie season in this division. And right now, he'll go 3rd fastest for Rally Music at a 16.458 seconds. But Rick Godovic in car 64, running a partial schedule this year, goes to the top, 16.146 seconds. That's 1/100th of a second faster than DJ Valente. So car 64 goes to the top here at Larry King Law's Langley Speedway. Quite a few victories here over the years for the car 64 from Yorktown, the Winstacks.com, Body by D, Jim and ComServe, the sponsors on car number 64, which is the fastest right now of the 5 cars that have taken a lap. And the 28 car was coming on the racetrack, Adam, but brings it down pit road.
Yeah, problems for Jamie Sample. Not sure of the issue. He actually is going to pull into the pit lane. So issues for both cars. Actually, Randy Sample, the 24 machine, also is up on jack stands down here. They are looking in the rear of the race car, so issues for both of the Sample machines right here on pit lane. Tough break for teammates down here.
Now, race fans, you're not seeing double duty. You said, well, there's just an 18 car on the racetrack. Well, it was the partner car for this team, DJ Valente, but this is actually Terry Harris, the owner, on the racetrack right now. We wanted to have Terry up in the booth. Justin Kern, our director of media relations, and I were talking throughout the week, and we said, hey, let's put him up in the booth with me this weekend to help call the modified race. But guess what, Adam? He had other plans.
Yeah, and a little bit more fun, I would say, down behind the wheel of a race car. Can't blame him for that. We always appreciate Terry and his company, Yesco. They were great partners of the racetrack. And Terry was no slouch in practice either, Brian. He had top 10 speed in that 18 machine. Of course, his teammate, we mentioned DJ Valente, won the most recent race, so we know how fast that car is. And Terry runs a partial schedule, so he's not on the track every week, but showed speed in practice. We'll see what kind of lap time he has here in qualifying.
So Terry Harris, 5th of the 8 cars. Terry Harris at a 16.812 second lap. And of course, Terry also owns Harris Truck Shop and Make That Harris Truck Shop, which sponsors our Harris Truck Shop Super Truck division. So we're just appreciative of all that he and his family do for our sport. Terry Harris, just a class act. On the racetrack right now is going to be Shane Zuppo, car number 07, turning some laps. This driver from Glen Allen, Virginia, in the Clear Defense Pest Control sponsored race car. And Shane Zuppo, 4th quickest at a 16.669 second lap. All right, the car we've been talking about, keep your eyes on this driver, the point standings leader and the defending champion. Picked up 8 victories last year, and already in 8 races he has 6 wins. And Adam, he goes all the way to the top. Or, correction, 2nd quick.
Yeah, no surprise there for the 78 team. We'll see what lap number 2 has for the 6-time winner this season. Across the stripe he goes. Can he beat the Rick Godovic lap time? No, he cannot. He picks up a little bit, but still stands P2 at a 16.303. But it is Rick Godovic. How about the lap from Rick? Took a couple of months off, and now he is back and doesn't seem to have any rust to shake off. That 64 car is lightning fast right now, sitting P1 with 10 cars already on the racetrack. Well, I should say 10. Randy Sample hasn't run yet. This is Brad Adams in car number 3. And how about the season that Brad is having? He is 2nd in the point standings, Brian.
Brad Adams having a good 2023 for car number 3. He drives the Asset Auto Recovery and Moody's Water Conditioning Cams Racing Engine Chevrolet. Here he comes out of turn number 4 sideways coming off the corner, and that's going to cost him a little bit of time. He'll slow down on lap number 2, so we'll keep the first lap as his quick lap, which was good enough to go P5 at a 16.582 second lap. It's a good run for Brad Adams as qualifying rolls on for the Larry King Law Modifieds as they prepare for their 50-lap race. It'll be the 5th event of 7 here this evening on the Who's Your Driver round 10 of the 2023 season. Chris Roberts, we talked about him earlier, car number 11 on the Speedway. Chris Roberts, the rookie, he's the top one thus far. Currently sets 5th in the championship chase, as we mentioned earlier, and he does have a best finish this year of 3rd on 2 occasions. And Chris Roberts takes the checkered flag, wraps up his qualification effort. He'll go 7th quick at a 16.701 seconds. He got that on his 2nd lap. Peyton Faree on the Speedway right now in car number 23. As we mentioned, he had a huge points pickup. He's currently 2nd in the points. Brad Adams right behind him in 3rd. So Peyton Faree, a couple of runner-up finishes to open up the 2023 season. He's trying to better that by 1 and get that victory. Peyton Faree, 6th quickest at a 16.597 second lap for car number 23. Digging for more, come out at turn number 4. Most of the drivers going faster on lap number 2, and indeed Peyton will as well. He'll crack the top 5, 5th position, or right now inside of row number 3 provisionally, turning a time of 16.552 seconds. Everybody chasing the driver that's back here this season, Rick Godovic in car number 64 from Yorktown. He's laid down the fast lap of 16.146 seconds. Matt Carter currently sets P2, and DJ Valente rounds out the top 3. At least 2 more cars to go here in Bojangles pole qualifying, including this driver, car number 0, who's had a big week, won the pole, as we mentioned earlier, in the Cars Tour race here on Wednesday. So he'd love to win the pole here in Hampton as well. Green flag for Chase Burrow from King William, Virginia, and the Medic Corp sponsored race car, as well as Virginia Motor Speedway. Been in racing now for 9 years for Chase Burrow. Car number 0 coming around to take the white flag. Let's see where he'll slot in here in pole qualifying. Had a best finish of 2nd here in just a handful of starts back on April 29th. And right now Chase Burrow is 6th quickest, 16.555. Here he comes out of turn number 4. Let's see if he picks it up like most everybody else. And he will. He'll gain another position. He'll go 5th quickest as he laid down a time of 16.481 seconds. Chase Burrow knocking Peyton Faree back to 6th. I believe this is our final qualifier on the racetrack right now. That'll be Mike Rudy at car number 8. Mike Rudy, 9th in the championship standings. Had a 4th place finish in the very last event. That'll tie his best finish here of 2023 from Prince George, Virginia. He's the 2012 Southside Speedway Modified Track Champion. He also picked up a championship last year at Dominion Raceway in the modified division, and he won the title at South Boston Speedway in 2015. So lots of championships for Mike Rudy here in car number 8. 10th quick here for car number 8, 16.751 seconds. That's going to wrap up the Larry King Law Modified Bojangles pole qualifying. Rick Godovic gets it done. He'll put car number 64 on the pole, turning a time of 16.146 seconds. Matt Carter will join him outside of row 1. DJ Valente posted the 3rd fastest lap. Riley Music was 4th, and Chase Burrows rounds out the top 5. Peyton Faree, he goes 6th here this afternoon. Brad Adams was 7th. Shane Zupo 8th. 9th to Chris Roberts. And Mike Rudy, who just qualified, he rounds out the top 10. Starting 11th later tonight for the 50-lap race will be the 29 car of Adam Medic. Terry Harris will go off 12th or outside of row 6. Jimmy Kibler will start 13th, and not qualifying because of some mechanical issues, both Jamie Sample and Randy Sample will line up 14th and 15th.
And Brian, we've got the fastest man in town down here, Rick Godovic, after putting a stellar lap down. Man, took a couple of months off. It's almost like you were here last week, just right back to it, and she was fast as always.
And it was just fantastic. Got to be honest, like our guys just, put together a really fast car here, and I just had to hold the wheel, and, we just got some great help behind us with the PPMT, Bruce, new spotter, Robert Hilby for the night. And this guy helped out because he's coaching constantly.
He's not too shabby either.
I got one thing to say to Matt Carter. Who's your daddy?
Shots fired down here in the pit lane, Brian, between Rick Godovic and Matt Carter. They'll share the front row tonight.
That is awesome. Rick Godovic, you can always count on him to have a good time, and he is certainly doing that. He'll start P1 when we drop the green flag. Again, I want to say hello to everybody on YouTube and Facebook for tuning in. Looks like we got Roger Dodger is tuning in Pocosin. Eric, Eric Bucklew is watching. Brad Adams is who he says. Go Brad Adams in car number 3. Looks like we also have Terry Folks tuning in. Diane Crosby, or Dwayne Crosby, that is. Kathleen Edwards says Peyton Faree all the way. So, Peyton, I think you got a fan there. Looks like Dakota Rooser is tuning in. Kelly Ferguson and Raymond Haynes says, hey, everybody. And I know John Turner also tuning in to Facebook Live. So you still have time if you're somewhat in the area. Come out and join us here in Hampton, Virginia at the legendary Larry King Laws Langley Speedway. We would love to have you. Again, live coverage on Flow Racing. If you can't join us, begins at 7 o'clock this evening. All right, Adam, we have just wrapped up qualifying, and it's almost go time for the races here this evening.
That's right, Brian. It is almost go time down here at Larry King Laws Langley Speedway. Who's your driver at race night? And race fans, we don't only have race cars here. We've got fireworks on display tonight, so make the trip out here. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. It's going to be a lot of fun, Brian, and we're going to celebrate this great nation on this 4th of July weekend.
That's right. It's Independence Day weekend, so it's a holiday. It's a big party, and we have a big party here each and every Saturday night, so we want you to be here with us here at the racetrack in Hampton, Virginia. For Adam Welbrock, I'm Brian White. We'll see you here at the track at 7 o'clock here this evening or on Flow Racing.